Hello and welcome to HCTV's Weekend Insider. As usual, I'm joined with Ian and Dave. How's it going, lads? Everything okay?
All good, mate. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I'm brilliant. Yeah, because I'm the only one out of all three of us where my team won at weekend. Liverpool got beat, Everton got beat, and Wigan won again. I might add up the ticks. So we're fighting out of the relegation now, so that's all good, really. And as you might notice, I've become a modern man this week with some AirPods in, or as I called them the other day, iPods. I put my iPods in.
Oh God, mate! Did you nick them off your nephew or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. It's all right. They don't work. I don't know how to work them. I've just put them in to see what they look like.
Oh, fair to get them not switched on or anything.
Did you cut the wires off them then? Yeah.
yeah. Off my Walkman. So, how's this week gone, lads? Have you had a bet this week, or are you saving it all till Cheltenham, or are you building up your kitty? What are you doing?
To be honest, I've been trying to build up a steady little kitty this week for Cheltenham, and I haven't done too bad. And we had a nice little touch on the Yankee racing the other day as well. I don't know if you've seen that one in the group, Chris. But
yeah, I missed it.
Oh, nice little 7-1 winner there. So yeah, I've done all right midweek. So I'm hoping it continues into the weekend.
Yeah,
nice. And I remember right saying that you kind of double you anything that you win, you're rolling onto your next stake and seeing where it takes you.
That's what I'm trying to do this week. Yeah. So it's I started off with a tenner on Monday. And I am now at, I think it's 350 quid.
So you've got a bet selection for tomorrow, and so it's 350 going on your selection tomorrow, is it?
I'm not doing that. Do you know what? You got a trumpet there, mate.
Yeah, sorry, that was a poor thing of trying to be a chicken, but I don't really know what it turned out to be.
Chicken that swallowed the trumpet.
Yeah, people say I'm always a bit of a cock.
Well, to be honest, I think I'm going to be that tomorrow for me bet. I haven't even looked at tomorrow's racing, to be honest, and even when we get into the weekend's racing, obviously it's all Cheltenham Eve stuff now, so
yeah,
it's slim pickings really when it comes to the racing. So there will be a bet tomorrow. Maybe I'll try and get it up to 5 ton if I can.
Nice, mate. Nice. Dave, what about you? Have you had a bet this week on the football or anything, or horses out?
I have done. I've been on the first scorers this week. I had a decent day. Well, Saturday and Sunday, I had I built a bit of a pot myself, and then slowly lost it Monday, Tuesday. So again on because I just love backing next scorer, first scorer. It's just the excitement of watching the game and wanting your pick to come in.
It does make the game a lot more interesting, doesn't it, when you're watching it?
Well, yeah, but a lot of people say, "Oh, you do that and your bet's gone straight away." If someone else scores, but the way I say it, it's like it's good odds, and it's only like you could say that about horse racing, can't you? You put a bet on a horse and it's over. Some races within a minute, some within 5 minutes. So
quite often as soon as it comes out of the stalls.
Yeah. Well, my betting this week has been absolutely shocking. I can't believe Dave. I texted you the other day and we both missed it. I think Haaland. First goal scorer, how we both missed that. That's one of our go-to bets along with Morelos.
Didn't he score the first goal 3 separate times in that match?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He was, so we missed that one, unfortunately. But that sums up. So I've not even got to get going to get a kitty going for Cheltenham yet. I need to start. Just keep losing my money instead. So hopefully that's going to change. I know. Well, we the money I won from last week's tips, which we'll get on to shortly, that soon went midweek. So I'm hoping I'm going to hand it over to you guys in a little bit to win us some money for Cheltenham, and then we can all have a good festival without risking any of our money. We can
lose it all.
It all there. Pretty much. So going on to last week, lads. Again, for people, I keep telling people who are not listening to this, whether it's on Spotify or watch it on YouTube through iTunes, however you get your podcasts and things, each week, one of you or both of you have been successful with bets. It hands down beats a lot of tipsters and things that I look at on Twitter, get emails through. I mean, this week, straight off the top of my head, you can go into more details in a second, but we had 2 3-1 winners and a 7-1 place, and was very, very nearly on the goal scorers and things like that. So people who aren't watching this, they should be getting on these bets. And I mean, commentators curse probably for this week, but we've had some great luck and great winnings so far. So over to you, talk us through your winnings. Dave, you can go first, mate, with a football. If you want 3-1 winner to kick us off.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't. And I said at the time it wasn't massive odds, but I really fancied, the teams to win, and they did quite comfortably. So it was Barnsley, Hull, and Sunderland. They were all home teams. I still back them at home, even with COVID. I just prefer backing home teams.
Yeah.
But I obviously went with a form. The 3 away teams were poor, and that came in. So. Yeah, I mean,
a 3-1 winner, like we said last week, mate. You'd take a 3-1. If you backed a horse at 3-1, you'd be more than happy, wouldn't you? On a Saturday afternoon, you'd be more than happy. So, and to follow on from last week's, you've kind of changed the way you've done your betting and things and your selections and stuff now, and it's paying off. And it 2 3-1 winners on consecutive Saturdays. You can't ask for much more, can you? Really?
No, that's it. I mean, it'd have been nice to go with a 6-fold, with the goals galore.
Yeah.
But just getting on to that, Chris. I mean, I picked 4 goals galore. 2 out the 4 came in. The ones that didn't come in was MK Dons got beat. I was worried that Wigan weren't going to score, but they beat MK Dons 3. Was it 3-0?
Yeah, of course they did.
And MK Dons, I can't. I'm sure I ran a ridiculous stat that they scored about 15 goals in the last 4 games. And then the second one that didn't come in out the 4 goals galore was Tranmere at home to Crawley. And then they scored 2 in the week, Tranmere. One after 3 minutes at Southend. So, I mean, that's betting. I mean, we got the 3-1. It would have been nice. And we was close against a really big, like 6-7-fold winner.
Yeah.
But also, we didn't really take note last week because I did in Partridge style. I just shouted them at you, the goal scorers.
Oh, yeah.
But just so obviously everyone who's listening or watching knows that I shouted out J.O. for Reading, Charlie Wyke for Sunderland, and Ivan Toney for Brentford. Now, J.O. and Wyke, they both scored, and the Toney bet was postponed because of COVID. There, Brentford was called off against Luton. So if you'd have backed the treble and that would have been taken out, you'd have got 11-2 anytime on that.
Lovely.
So we're having
that's all right then, isn't it?
We're having that. Add that to the list.
Of course. That's 2 3-1s, a 7-1 place, and an 11-2 winner.
Yeah, there you go.
Dear me! I mean, if anyone's watching this and they had them, that's an unbelievable Saturday, isn't it? You'd be happy walking away with that going into Sunday, wouldn't you? Or building your kitty for Cheltenham or whatever. So
only thing we're missing there was a pint of Guinness.
I know.
Yeah.
But also, I got winners off which obviously Ian's going to tell us now off his horses. I was made up because it was early doors as well, especially the Skelton horse, which was brilliant. So
I tell you what, nice little segue into that then, Dave.
I know. Have you been practicing, Dave? Hey, I'll just go for a cup of tea, mate. I don't need to be a host. You carry on.
It's that spin-off show, Ian. I've been.
It's got some good listeners that as well, and it our spin-off shows. The one, I mean, obviously, the nap was my Drogo, the Skelton one. I told you how much I thought of this horse, and I also, it's going to improve no end. And if you watch that race, the thing that put a smile on my face was Dave, how you said about how the Skelton horses always come from behind.
Yeah.
And he just had it settled lovely and then just cut through the field like a knife through butter. I think it won by about 10 lengths in the end.
Yeah. If you could choose a horse to have a bet on and win, in hindsight, it'd be something like that, wouldn't it? When you're thinking, oh, it's near the back, and then all of a sudden, like you say, it just cuts up the field and wins at ease, didn't it? You know what I mean? That's you dream of them.
Superb. It was the early bet, and didn't matter what happened from there on in. You know, we're up. We've had a good day. I couldn't believe that price. I said it on the show last week. I thought it was a ridiculous price, and I still couldn't believe it. I've got a feeling, I might be wrong, I've got a feeling that he might send that to Aintree. So it's one to look out for the Aintree Festival in April. I think it'll be suited. There's a 2 mile 4 hurdle race at Aintree. I think it'll be suited by that. So it'll be interesting to see that. The 7-1 place, I got excited for a little bit watching that. And it was a blanket finish as well. You know, the first 4 across the line, there was only about a length between them all. It always looked like, from about 2 outs, I don't think it was ever going to get there. I was hoping something might happen in front, you know, sort of one of the horses clouds it up, you know. But, you know, it was 7-1, and we said that we'd do it each way. And give us
a good run for our money as well, didn't it, there, for nearly up there.
Yeah, I like that. You know, if you've got a distance race like that, you just want to run for your money, don't you?
Of course you do.
You want to be going into that last 2 or 3 fences with a shout. Something to get your blood going a little bit. So,
and believe me, I was shouting. I was off the couch. I was riding the horse for it at one point. Honestly.
Now we know why it lost.
Yeah, it was carrying some extra weight.
Yeah. So yeah, long may it continue into this week, lads.
Yeah, definitely.
Really enjoyed it. I really did enjoy that racing last weekend.
It was good. So hopefully a couple of nice winners this week from you both that we'll go on to in a bit, and keep the trend going. Really, I just want to say I think I mentioned it. Was it last week or the week before about bizarre bets and things? And I mentioned the fella who put a bet on in 1989, and I want to tell you about his bet. It's bizarre. Okay, so this fella in 1989 placed an accumulator.
Oh yeah,
one of them. You know, he placed a £30 bet in 1989, and the odds were 6,479 to 1. He bet. He believed that Cliff Richard would be knighted before the year 2000. U2 would remain together and continue making music past the turn of millennium, and that both EastEnders and Australian soap Neighbours would also keep making shows past that point. After he placed that, you can imagine the man's delight in being able to cash in his £30 bet. He walked away with £194,400.
Do you know what? I don't even know where to begin with that. I think I'd sooner talk about the woodcutting championships.
Yeah.
194.5 grand from 1989.
How and why?
How was he picked then?
Well, to be honest,
picking one team to win on a Saturday. Never mind.
What?
You know what?
And why has he put 30 quid on it?
You know what?
What a random stake.
Yeah, 30 quid in 1989 was about 40 grand, you know.
It does make you feel old, doesn't it, when your kids ask you about the 1980s and what it was like?
I don't know, does it, Ian? It's before my time, mate.
Right, okay. So you don't look like, but you know what I mean? I keep getting mixed up. You look older than you look, Chris.
Yeah, it's that paper round, mate. Yeah. Now, I know you do like the weird sports, and you're big into your Eurosport in the week. And I'll be honest, lads, this week I have been a bit busy. I've not managed to catch up on the yachting or the timber throwing. But I tell you, I did catch a little bit of it, and it was on Facebook. I was watching a little bit. It was trick shots of disc throwing. It was disc throwing golf. To me and you, it's frisbee. Okay. So basically, they threw it 850 foot round a tree into like a flag, like a golf flag, with like a hole or like a basket on it, and he threw it 850 foot round the tree into this hole. Fantastic. I mean, that was pretty good to watch. Whether I could watch it all day is a different story, and I don't know if you think there's a market on it, but
Chris,
I think you've been having a look.
I think you've been out there, mate. I think that's just been one of those things on Facebook that's been doctored. No one can throw a frisbee 800 yards round a tree.
Yeah, it really was. It really was.
It really was. All right, Chris. Good one.
I'll find it for you. I'll put it up on YouTube a little bit later. It's
Doesn't mean I'll believe it.
Yeah, it cuts off a few times.
Was it a dog? Was it a dog that caught it at the end?
No, the dog threw it.
Yeah.
Moving on to this week, lads. After you don't believe me on that story, the golf. Anyone into the golf?
No,
I take that as a no.
I do like to watch a bit of golf actually, but I haven't been watching this. Yeah,
so the Players' Championship started today. Earlier on today, you could get 8 places for the winner, and really, the thing I like about golf betting, they're always really good odds. So I think the favourite this morning was starting about 11 to 1 and paying 8 places.
Yeah,
you can even without knowing that much about golf, you can have a bet on 2 or 3 each way to finish top 8 at a decent price. You know, like the well-known names. So they've just finished the first day there. Sergio Garcia is leading at the moment after the first day. He's 7 under. An Englishman, Matthew Fitzpatrick, is 4 under in second place at the moment. But if you have a bet each way, I think now they're offering top 6 places, and the odds have come in slightly. So Garcia at the moment is 11 to 2. But then second favourite is 9 to 1. And then third favourite is 14 to 1. So some really, really good prices still on offer.
Have you had a double?
Places. I've not yet, but I think I normally have a little look at someone like Jordan Spieth or someone like that. I think he's about 14 or 18 to 1 or something at the minute. So I might have a little short dabble on him. Keeps you going all weekend, a long bet. And it's going to be there or thereabouts probably. And at 14, 18 to 1, finish top 6.
You can guarantee, can't you? There's 5 or 6 golfers who are so consistent.
Yeah.
And that Spieth's one of them. I mean, you're hardly taking a huge risk by putting an each way bet on him, are you? Do you know what I mean? It's
that's what I mean.
Odds, yeah, at those odds.
So what's Nick Faldo? What's he about 22 or?
Yeah, he's up there, mate. He's up there. Yeah, he's playing golf with that dog with frisbees.
You got more chance of Fanny Faldo coming in than
him. So that's the golf until Sunday. That was Six Nations is still ongoing. That's been going on for about 3 years. The Six Nations. Wales are now 8 to 11 favourites, with France behind them now at 11 to 8. Few games this weekend. The Australian Rugby League starts this weekend.
I'd tell you what, just on that, that's a horrible dilemma for an Englishman, that, isn't it? The Welsh and the French. Who would you want to win out of that?
Oh, it's Wales for me all day.
I know.
Really?
I think. I don't know. The Welsh hate us as much as the French hate us, I think. Then again, I think everyone hates us, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. None of them really. None of them. I want to go to any of them.
Let's hope it gets postponed now.
Yeah. So the Australian Rugby League round 1 starts early Saturday morning. A couple of games on Sky actually. 6:30 is Sydney Roosters v Manly, and at 8:35 it's Penrith versus now North Queensland Cowboys. If you fancy Rugby League's back, if you fancy watching a bit of that on Sky.
Well, those Australian ones are brutal, aren't they? The proper games of rugby, them like.
Yeah. They're much tougher than them rugby union types anyway. Wait for the letters of complaint coming in. But yeah, they seem light years ahead of the UK game really. So that'll be interesting to watch that Saturday morning. If you've got nothing else, if no one would have been out to the pub on Friday night, so you can get up and watch that Saturday morning. The cricket, that's still ongoing. We got hammered in the test, but the T20s, India And England, that's on at the moment. India 8-13. England 5-4. But I tell you what I do like. I had a little look at the cricket betting, and on Sky Bet there's a bet been boosted from 11-8 to 13-8, and I quite like this. Now remember, T20s are all about going in there and hitting it as far as you can, as many runs as you can in as quick a time as possible. So for three, what are you giggling at?
Just laughing at you. You should be a cricket pundit, the way you explain that. Right, I can imagine you coaching the England team. I want you to go out there, that's right. And I want you to whack it as hard as you can, as fast as you can.
Well, that's like that new tournament. Have you seen that? The 100, that new cricket tournament. That's basically it. So, on this. So for a boundary to be hit in the first 3 overs is now 13-8. So if they just go out there and smash it, I think that's quite a good bet, 13-8. So I'm going to have a little.
I like that.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of value in that. So I'm going to have a little do at that, and it's that important. I've actually circled it on my pad.
Who's that?
When it gets circled, that's with Sky Bet. That's boosted with Sky Bet.
Oh, he doesn't like Sky Bet, Ian. He's not a fan of Sky Bet.
They failed to pay him out on his 50p each way once.
Yeah. It's like my brother, John. Who you fell out with this time, John?
6 o'clock on Saturday night, he's on the customer service hammering his keyboard. Right, well, I'll cancel my account then. I'm sure they're bothered about your £3 every Saturday.
Can I just say for the record that you're still talking about John, not me there, aren't
you? So that's the cricket, lads, going into this week. So over to you, really, again, for this week's bets. I don't mind who goes first, as long as you pick us another couple of winners, lads. Who wants to go, football or horse racing?
Go ahead, I don't mind. Shall I have a go? Yeah. Like I said before, it's a tricky weekend, this, for horse racing, because everyone's gearing up for next week at Cheltenham. So it doesn't matter what podcast you're listening to, what TV channel or whatever you're reading, it's all Cheltenham. This sort of weekend's cards are a little bit hit and miss, to be honest.
And just on that, Ian, we're going to do a Cheltenham special, aren't we? We're going to record it Sunday afternoon. We've got yourself and we've got a special guest on as well. We've got an Irish tipster on. He runs his own Ronan, an Irish tipster on, which is a bit of a coup we've managed to pull there, really, getting him on, haven't we? All geared up for the Cheltenham.
I've not had my invite, mate. What?
That's for next week's section, mate. Horse football.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, I'm already getting worried about Ronan showing me up on this on Sunday.
So yeah, we've got a nice little coup there. So we're going to record that on Sunday afternoon. Hopefully, get that out there for Sunday late afternoon, early evening, so people can have a listen to that in the run up to Cheltenham. Like I said, we've got yourself and Ronan, the Irish tipster. So really, really looking forward to that. And just on about this weekend's racing. Do the bookies see a massive downturn on placed bets, do you think? Because a lot of people think, you know what, I'm going to save my money till Cheltenham, or does it not really affect it?
No, absolutely. They've got to, haven't they? It's
yeah.
You only have to look at it. I mean, there's a couple of decent races at Sandown, but if you look at the races that ITV are showing, they're showing 3 races from Wolverhampton on the all-weather.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So, you know, one of our tips is on there today because it's on the TV, and that's what we try to do, give listeners a chance to watch the runners. But I was looking through this the last couple of days trying to come up with a selection, and it's slim picking. So we've got 2. I've looked at the Imperial Cup at Sandown. It's 225 at Sandown. It's a 2-mile handicap hurdle. Now, the good thing about this race for trainers is there's a £50,000 bonus if a horse wins this and then goes on to win a race at Cheltenham next week. So it does add that little bit of extra interest for trainers, and there is an opportunity that maybe you get a couple of better horses going for it. And the way I've looked at this race is I thought it'd be good to look at. I must have been inspired by Dave actually last week. I've looked at some stats and trends, associated with the race itself, so we can try and sort of whittle down because it's a big race. There's about 15, 20 horses in there again. To try and whittle down the field, to try and get a good idea. So it's a handicap race. So obviously looking at what weights are carried by the winners is a good start. So 15 of the last 17 winners have all carried 10 stone 13 or less. So that's a good stat. That there's
Stato.
I've got more where that came from. Thank you very much.
Oh, I can hardly wait.
15 out of 17 is a lot. Do you know what I mean? And so I've ruled out the top half of the field based on that straight away. There's another stat that goes with it, in that the age of the horse that wins this is normally 6 years or younger. Now, you can put these stats together and actually come up with a reason why. It goes to improving horses. So if you think the way the handicap system works, the more you run, the more the handicapper knows about you, the more chances are you've won races or ran well in races. So your handicap mark's going to increase every time. Yeah. So this race usually goes to what we call unexposed horses. So horses have only run 2-3 times over hurdles. They're sneaking in at the bottom of the handicap and they're still quite young. So the handicap hasn't quite got to grips with them. So there's a jump of improvement needed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Again, 16 of the last 17 winners hadn't won more than twice over hurdles in the past. So again, that fits with the stat of younger horses coming through. So it really helped me, when I was trying to narrow down the field to try and get the winner of this. And all of a sudden, we only had a handful to choose from. And I'm very, very unlike me in these handicaps. I'm going with the favourite in this. It's a horse called Natural History. It's about 7-2 at the moment. It's trained by Gary Moore. It's going to be ridden by his son. It was rated 97 on the flat, so it's an ex-flat horse. Now, normally, if you're looking for a transition from flat to over the sticks, you can add on around 40, a mark of 40. So this should be running off about 140 based on its flat rating. I think it's improved massively over the sticks for what it did on the flat, and it was useful on the flat as well. So I think it's well treated in the handicap. Its last race, it won by 15 lengths, and it jumped very well. And the further it went, the better it looked. There's a slight concern that if it carries on raining and it goes heavy, it might blunt its speed a little bit. It might do, but it fits all the right trends. And the more I looked at it, the more I thought, why try to be clever in this when a 7-2 winner fits everything? So, just for your mum, Dave, I'm just repeating it.
Yeah.
Natural History, 7-2 in the 225 at Sandown, the Imperial Cup.
Nice, mate.
We've got one more. We said there's a racing at Wolverhampton as well. So the best race at Wolverhampton is the 205. So hopefully this kicks us off with a winner for the day. It's probably going to be the first bet unless Dave's got an early kick-off. It's a listed race, so it's actually not bad quality. It's over 7 furlongs. The favourite in it is a horse called Highland Dress, which is 3-1. It goes from the front. It'll be up there a lot of the way, whether it lasts home. It's gone up in the handicap a lot over the last 2 runs. The second favourite is a horse called Documenting. That's 4-1. It hasn't run for 112 days. I'm convinced it needs the run. And then there's a number of horses in the betting quite close after this. The one thing that stood out for me is that there's a lot of speed in the race. There's at least 3 horses out of the 9 that like to lead. We're going to go for a horse called Mum's Tipple. Now, your mum should be able to remember that one, Dave. Mum's Tipple.
That's an omen.
Does
she like a tipple, Dave? Does she like a tipple?
Too right, yeah, she does.
You're not getting any pudding if you go round for roast on Sunday now. Right, it's a Richard Annan horse. It's ridden by Ryan Moore. It hasn't won for 2 years since its 2-year-old days, and it won a great race. I think it was at York when it was 2-year-old. It won by 11 lengths. It won a sprint race by 11 lengths, which was unheard of. And since then, it's sort of took backward steps, albeit in much better company. It had its all-weather run at Lingfield 35 days ago, and I rewatched the race back, and it shaped really nicely. Didn't get much of a run. He was sitting on it at the end. It only finished about 3 lengths behind the winner. Finished 6th. Let's say it was about 3 lengths behind the winner. I think it will have teed it up lovely for this race. I think it's now a bit fitter. I think with the fast run pace with the front runners in this, I think it can just sit. I'd like to see it sitting 3rd or 4th, in behind the pace. And do you know what? I'm hoping he comes there with a double handful coming to the final furlong and just eases it through, because he certainly had a lot of horse under him last time. And it's probably the class angle in the race. It just needs to prove it's still got some of that class from a couple of years ago. If it has, could take all the beating. So that's Mum's Tipple, 205 Wolverhampton.
What
price was that in?
5 to 1.
Lovely.
And do you know, I know Ryan Moore's been in good form recently. Ryan Moore's one of them jockeys for me. When I bet on him, when you bet on him, he never wins. But every time you watch him, he always seems to win. Have you got jockeys like that?
Yeah, he's one of them.
Yeah.
But I think he's one of them for everyone. He's a bit Marmite, isn't he?
Yeah.
Who was it who got the 4-timer this week?
It was Ben Curtis.
Ryan Moore on it.
I don't know if Ryan Moore has as well. Ben Curtis might have. Oisin Murphy's back in the country tomorrow after his drugs ban. He got a drugs ban.
Abroad, yeah.
You might remember.
Yeah.
So he's back.
That's gone quick, hasn't it?
Yeah, he's been having a whale of time. I see him on Instagram. He's been in Dubai and everywhere. Doesn't look like it's bothered him one iota.
I bet it's not.
He's going to come back as high as a kite and he get another ban.
Oh no, I don't know about that. I don't think he'd have been doing drugs over in Dubai.
Obviously, these are our own personal views, not the views of HC Promotions.
Yeah, I know.
No, but Dave, do you know what, mate? You are right. You know, Ryan Moore's one of those frustrating, and I've never fully got to grips whether he was just riding the best horses or whether he was the best jockey half the time. So obviously he was with Aidan O'Brien for years. So we'll see. But I like the look of this. Mum's Tipple. I just hope I'm right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, good. Excellent, mate. Is it just 2 selections this week?
Just
Is
two,
it, Ian?
just 2 this week. Yeah.
Brilliant, mate. Okay, brilliant. So effectively you could throw them into 2 places, couldn't you, as well, at 5 to 1 and 7 to 2?
Yeah, to be honest, I'll probably play it in, and I'd probably advise this. I'd put a bigger stake on a place-only double. So most bookmakers now, so don't confuse that with each way. Most bookmakers will give you odds on it finishing in the first 3. I think both of these horses look primed to finish in the first 3. That first one, you'll probably get first 4. So obviously most reduced odds. So your biggest stake goes on place only. I'd double them up and I'd throw singles on for wins as well. So there's 4 different bets you could play with them. Yeah.
And then throw them in with a football as well, and we're all happy, aren't we?
We've got that pot to throw away at Cheltenham next week then.
Yeah, exactly.
No pressure, Dave.
Thanks, Ian. Over to you, Dave, for some football winners again, please, mate.
I hope so. I really do, for Cheltenham. So this, I've gone for the same again. 2 trebles, win, and both teams to score. So we'll start off as we normally do with 3 teams to win, and the odds are better this week. Although the teams to win are a bit more risky. I think they're a bit more risky than last week, hence a bit higher odds. So the first one we've got is Bristol Rovers to beat Wimbledon. Bristol Rovers, they've won the last 3 or 4 at home, and they beat Accrington on Tuesday 4-1. So they battered them. Accrington are in 10th place, and Wimbledon are right near the bottom, and they're in really bad form. They're struggling to score. And Bristol Rovers, if they win on Saturday, they can pull away from the relegation zone. So this is one of them games where the manager's saying, we've got to beat these, and then we can get distance between ourselves and relegation. So that's a more nailed on. I fully expect Bristol Rovers to win.
Oh, they don't need to do a team talk now, Dave. You've done it for them.
Well, there you go. Nice and easy.
Did he just turn up in the kit?
Hey, says the England cricket coach there.
I was just going to say.
Yeah, true. Okay. Carry on.
The next one, this is a bit more dodgy one, but it is good odds. But I'd still, obviously, I wouldn't say it if I didn't fancy it. Ipswich to beat Plymouth. Now, Plymouth have lost the last 2 away, and they lost the last game at home to Wigan 2-0. And who gets beat at home to Wigan 2-0? Come on, Ian.
Everyone at the minute.
Right?
Oh, unbelievable. I tell you what, I've seen that stat about Wigan and Liverpool during the week. Didn't want to bring that up, Dave.
Oh, yeah, about the least points.
Yeah, I thought it was me who does the football on here.
Oh, sorry, mate. Yeah.
Oh, I'm only kidding. Yeah, I saw that as well, but I thought I'd just go over that anyway. So
yeah.
You'll like this, Chris. Ipswich. So we're Ipswich to beat Plymouth. They're at home. Paul Cook, obviously ex-Wigan manager, for Ipswich. You liked him, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, which is unlike me for a Wigan manager. You know what I'm like? I'm very bitter against him, but I did quite like Paul Cook. Yeah.
So he's turned their fortunes around a bit at Ipswich, and they can go in the playoffs with a win over Plymouth.
Fortune cookie.
God. What's wrong with you?
He's just shouting random stuff here.
So fortune cookie to inspire Ipswich to beat Plymouth. So that's your second one. Oh,
oh dear.
Oh, God.
That's the stupid things, isn't it?
Oh, God. Right. I'm ready for the next one.
Yeah, I'm ready, mate.
Right. Final one, Lincoln to beat Rochdale. Current form, Lincoln aren't great, but they can go into second if they beat Rochdale. And Rochdale, it's not going to take much to beat Rochdale at the minute because they're on an awful run. They've not scored in the last 4 away from home, and they're right at the bottom. So that's your treble. Again, 3 home teams, Bristol Rovers, Ipswich and Lincoln, and you'll get 11-2 for the treble.
Yes.
Nice.
That'll do.
Good, yeah. Love that.
We'll go through the both teams to score that I fancy. Again, these are a little bit more better odds than last week. We're going for Crewe and Burton. Crewe have scored in the last 11 at home, and Burton have scored in the last 9 away. So that's 0-0, isn't it?
Stat attack. Yeah, probably, yeah.
Stat attack.
So you know that they're going to carry on that form.
That's got to be as nails on as you can hope that, innit?
You'd hope to think so. Next one, Forest Green and Harrogate. They both score a bag load of goals, but they also concede. Forest Green, the last home game was 2-2 in the week. Harrogate did fail to score in the last away game, but before that, they scored in the last 8. So I'm thinking they didn't score last one.
Yeah.
They'll score this time. So
I quite like that. You know, when teams haven't scored the previous game, I quite like it, because I think, well, they're not going to go 2-3 games without scoring. So I normally look for that. But
anyway. Tranmere were a case in point this week, weren't they?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, mind you, they scored 2 in the week, didn't they?
No, that's what I mean. But they didn't. They didn't in your bet at the weekend.
Yeah. So, yeah, well, fingers crossed with that one as well then. And then the final one is, and I hope this comes in because I'm thinking Vale not, but I'm going to go for it. Bolton versus Vale. Now, the reason I looked at this, sorry, it's Vale are at home, Vale versus Bolton. The reverse fixture at Bolton was 6-3 to Vale. So they don't score a lot of goals, Port Vale. But again, they've got the new manager that, Bolton are flying. You'd fully expect Bolton to score, especially away from home. They've not scored in the last 3 at home, Vale. But before that, they beat Southend 5-1. So again, they are due a goal. So I'm just going to take a bit of a punt on that because I do think Bolton will score. I think Vale are going to get at least 1.
It's funny, isn't it, how games sort of have a trend as well. If it's a high-scoring game, normally the fixture is often high-scoring, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
definitely. It is.
So, and
Vale are hit and miss, aren't they?
They are. I mean, they played. They played Oldham on Tuesday night, and they drew 0-0 at home. But they had loads of. I saw the stats. I didn't see the game, but the stats. But I heard obviously on Twitter afterwards they should have scored. So I do fancy them to get a goal. So that treble is just short of 6-1. It's 5.7-1. So
nice.
if you want to double it up, go with a 6-fold. Listen to this: 42-1.
Let's be honest, we're all going to have a go at that anyway, aren't we? So
you might as well,
Couple of pound on it, you'll be happy with that, won't you?
Yeah. Do you know what? It doesn't even seem that far-fetched, though, does it? For that to come
No, it doesn't.
No.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't. I did it last week with all the bets in it.
Yeah, 2 weeks on the trot. It's hit the bar, your 6, Dave.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's only going to be a matter of time till they all come in, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Well, it will come in sooner or later, the full 6. And then I'll just put in the 3 goal scorers I've picked out, but I'll say them slowly this week so people can hear them. It's a treble anytime scorers. I've got Tom Hopper for Lincoln, James Norwood for Ipswich, and Weghorst for Wolfsburg. And you can get 10-1 anytime on them 3 goal scorers. They're 3 of my favourites that I do like to put on, and they have won me a few quid over the years. So, and the 3 of them have got favourable teams to score against, should we say?
Do you do that when you're picking your first goal scorers, Dave? Do you normally go to see where your favourites are playing first to see if you fancy them or not, or do you just look equally across it all?
No, 100%. I've got my favourites who I go to, and I see who they're playing. I mean, one of my favourites, and he's not scored in I don't know how long. He's a summer longer for Middlesbrough. I think they're at home this weekend, but he's not been playing. So I'll be looking out for a summer longer this weekend.
Off the bench, about 60 minutes.
I'll be all over him off the bench because he will score.
I bet you will. Good, mate. Good. Well, again, some good stuff there. A couple of horses, bit of football there, and again, I think that them trebles, Dave. I really like them, and why change a winning formula, really, mate? 11-2, a 6-1, and do them both at 42-1. It's worth £1 of anyone's money, that, innit?
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely.
All good, lads. Absolutely brilliant. Just before we go. Again, I want to mention the Cheltenham special that we're going to be recording on Sunday. I want to give a quick shout out to one of my pals, Phil, who's having a bit of a tough time. He's a regular listener of the podcast that we do. I know he's going through a bit of a tough time at the minute, so I just want to say, keep your chin up, mate. Keep moving forward. And hopefully we'll get you some winners this weekend, lads. And then we're on to Cheltenham when we meet again next Thursday night. We'll all be in a very jovial mood. Not that we've won anything, just because we would have all been supping Guinness all day, really.
That you could be right.
On the third day of Cheltenham, looking forward to the Gold Cup on the Friday.
We might be a bit sozzled next week, mate.
I know, yeah.
I know.
Let's say it'll be interesting, to say the least.
Brilliant. There won't be any stats next week. It'll just be like, oh, this and this, you know, pick what you want.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah.
Yeah. We might have more luck actually then as well. Imagine that.
Actually. Yeah.
Brilliant, lads. Well, thanks very much for your time again. Everyone, this is available on YouTube, Spotify, Alexa, iTunes, wherever you get your podcast from. It will be on there. Search for The Weekend Insider. Hopefully get some winners this weekend. Ian, Dave, thanks very much again for your time, fellas. And we shall speak to you soon.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks.
Take care, fellas.